Now let's work on the checkout part of our project where we are going to use the Stripe to make the payments. So for that, go to the Stripe dashboard. First we have to sign in and then go to the developer mode and make a account here. I'm currently using the Ecommerce video YouTube account. So first we are going to make our API out here. So make a checkout folder in API folder and then the file. And here we are going to write the code to make payments from Stripe. So first we are going to import Stripe, Stripe from Stripe. So you have to install this package by writing npm I Stripe. After that, we are going to import next response, and also we are going to import Prisma from dot/app/prismadb, and then we are going to initiate a new Stripe, calling it as a Stripe is equals to new Stripe, and inside that we are going to pass our Stripe secret key. So write process.env dot Stripe secret key, and also we are going to have API version which will be this TypeScript true, and if you're getting squiggly line below this, you can remove this by adding a exclamatory mark at the end. Now after that we are going to define some headers. So calls headers is equals to, first will be access control allow origin, then access control allow methods, and methods will be get, post, put, delete, options, and third will be access control allow headers, and here content type will be authorization. So export default function options, and inside that return next response .json. I want to have the empty object, and then inside the headers we're going to pass the calls headers. Now let's write a post function. So export async, and this should be async as well. Function type will be post. Inside that we are going to have request, type of request, and first we are going to get the product IDs and user ID from our request. So product IDs and user IDs from request.json. Now if we don't have a product IDs, or the product IDs dot length is equals to 0, then we are going to return a new next response at product IDs not found, and then we are going to have a status code of 400. And now if we do have our product IDs, then we can get our products from the product table. So that products is equals to await prisma dot product dot find menu side where ID, in product IDs. So we will get all the products containing all these product IDs. And now let's define line item where we are going to push different parameters and their values. So const line items is equals not equals to, this will be colon stripe dot checkout dot session create params dot line item, and this will be equals to empty array. Now we are going to look for the products, and then we are going to push the values in the line items. So line items dot push, and the first will be quantity. Quantity we are defining one, but this can be controlled by user by passing the quantity number here. Then price data. So inside the price data, first we are going to define the currency. Currency will be USD, USD, and inside the product data, I'm going to get the name, which will be product dot title, and below the product data, we are going to have a unit amount, which will be product dot price into 100 because Stripe takes amount in cents. Now let's create a session. So that const session is equals to await Stripe dot checkout dot session dot create, and inside we're going to pass our line items, then mode, payment, billing address, collection, and I'm taking at auto, then phone number collection, and enabled will be false, then success URL. So success URL will be process dot env dot slash cart question mark success is equals to 1. As for the cancel URL, I'm going to change this to cancelled is equals to 1. Along with that, we are also going to pass the metadata where product IDs will be equals to JSON dot stringify product IDs and user ID. Lastly, we are going to return a response. So return next response dot JSON URL inside that pass the URL and value will be session dot URL, and also we are going to pass the headers, which will be calls headers. Now save, and then let's go to the env file, and here we are going to add some variables. So first variable will be next public API base URL, which will be localhost 3000, and second will be next public Stripe publishable key, and this we are getting from API case. So click on this to copy and now paste it here. And the last key that we need is Stripe secret key, and this also you can get it from the API case. So reveal and then copy and then paste it here. And now we have done everything. Let's go back to the cart page here, and then all cart product, and then button. We're going to define the checkout function, so that on checkout, and this will be a type and this will be a sync function. Inside this function, write const response is equals to await access dot post, and then specify the URL, which will be API/checkout. Pass the data, which will be product IDs, which will be all IDs, and then the user ID, which will be user ID, and then we're going to write window dot location is equals to response dot data dot URL, and this will send us to the Stripe dashboard. And now here inside the span, pass the onClick function, and then pass our onCheckout function and save it. Now let's go back to our browser and refresh the page. And if I click on this, and as you can see, I have been directed to the checkout.stripe.com, which is the payment dashboard from Stripe. Now let's do a payment. For card information, use this dummy card number, and inside the date you can choose any date, which is uh, the future date. So I'm going to choose this, and you can choose any number here. And now let's click on the pay, and here we are getting an error because we have selected the currency as USD, but we are selecting the billing address as India. So we have to choose United States, and then again pay this, and again click on the pay button. And as you can see, our payment got success, and in the URL you can see that the URL is localhost. The URL is localhost 3000 slash start question mark success is equals to 1, which we have defined here for the success URL, as you can see. But as you can see that our product is still here even though we have paid the price for this product. And the reason for this is that we have no way to confirm if the user have paid the price for this product or not. So to get the information if the user have paid or not, we are going to use another thing from the Stripe, which is webhook. We are going to integrate the webhook in our project. So what uh, webhook does is we do the post request from our side, and the invoice created if the user paid, and then Stripe uh, sends this invoice to us through this webhook endpoint, and using this invoice we can update the customer data and also the checkout and everything else in our project and in our database. So for this we are going to use the webhook in our project, and whenever the user pay anything from the Stripe, we can change the data as per the event. Since we are working on the local environment, we are going to use the test in local environment, and the first thing we are going to do is to download our CLI. So for your system, you can download your CLI by going to this particular URL, and for the macOS, Linux, they have given all the commands to install them. So follow this and install the Stripe CLI in our system. And after that we are going to log into the Stripe. So copy this and go to the terminal. Remember, you have to be in the same directory as your folder, and now here paste this command, and as you can see here it has given us a URL. Just open it in your browser, and now you have to confirm this if this same code is written over here. So it's the same code. I'm going to allow the access, and after that you can close this window. And now the next step is to as you can see, this is completed. Now next step is to listen the stripe. So copy this as well, and inside the terminal paste it here, and change this to localhost 3000 slash API slash webhook and enter. And this will generate as webhook sign-in secret, which we are going to copy and then go to the env file and then paste this value. And after that, we can make one more folder inside the API, which will be webhook, then route.ts. Inside this, first we are going to import our stripe from stripe, then import prisma from /app/prismadb, then import next response, and then import headers from next headers. Then we are going to initiate the stripe, so we can copy that from here and paste here. After that, define a post function which will be export async function post request, which will be type of request. And inside that, first we are going to get a body from await request dot text, and then we are going to get the stripe signature. So that signature is equals to headers dot get stripe signature, and it will be as a string. Now we are going to have a event which will be a type of stripe dot event, and then use the try and catch block. So event will be equals to stripe dot webhook dot construct event, and inside that we are going to pass the body, then signature, then process dot env dot uh, just go here and copy and paste this here. And to remove this error, you can just add this exclamatory mark at the end, and then we are going to catch any error. So return new next response, inside that a message webhook error dot message, and status code will be 400. Now let's create our stripe session. So const session is equals to event dot data dot object as stripe dot checkout dot session. Now if event dot type will be equals to checkout dot session dot completed, then we are going to have payment intent succeeded, which will be equals to event dot data dot object, and then we are going to get our purchased IDs, which is the product IDs, and the user ID from our metadata. So const purchased ID is equals to session dot metadata dot product ID, and the const user ID is equals to parsing session dot metadata dot user ID as a string. Now if we get the purchased IDs, then make a JSON array dot is array JSON array, then for const product ID of JSON array await prisma dot purchased. Now here we have not make the purchased table yet. So first let's go to the schema.prisma, and here let's make our purchased table. So below the cart, write model purchased. So first thing we are going to have ID here, then is paid, which will be a type of boolean, and product ID, which will be a type of integer. Then we are going to make a relation between product and purchased. Like product the relation fields product ID references ID, and on delete cascade. Then we are going to have a user ID, which will be a type of int, and then establish a relation between user and the purchased, so that user relation fields will be product user ID, and then reference will be ID, and on delete cascade, and then below this write double direct index product ID, and then double index user ID. Now let's add the purchased in our product and the user. So here inside the product, write purchased, and then empty string, and copy this and paste it here. Now save it and make one more terminal, and go to the project directory, which is Ecommerce, and write mpx prisma db push, and as you can see we have successfully added the purchase table in our uh, database. Now let's again go back to the webhook, and here now I'm going to write purchased, and as you can see we are getting the recommendation. After that, let's create, since we are creating a new data inside the purchased table, pass the data which in which we are going to pass is paid, which will be true, then product ID, which will be product ID, and then user ID, which will be user ID. After that, we are going to delete the product from the cart, since the user have already purchased it. So at const cart item delete is equals to user ID, which will be user ID, and product ID, which will be a product ID, and then await prisma dot cart dot delete many, and inside that pass the where, then the pass cart item delete. Lastly, we are going to return, so write return new next response, inside that at null, and the status code 200. Save it. Now let's go to the Stripe dashboard again, and this time we are going to copy this command and paste it here and run it. And if you go to this terminal, you can see we are getting the 200 status code, and with that we have successfully set up the webhook in our project. Now let's try if it's working or not. So let me refresh it. Now let's check out, fill up the informations, and now pay. Our payment. Let's refresh the page again. So our payment was successful, but there was some problem with the webhook. As you can see that we get a 500 error. As you can see, we are getting some kind of error here. So just close the server and restart it again. And then refresh the page. And again go to the cart page. And now let's check out one more time. So this time we did not get any error. Let's refresh the page. And as you can see that our cart is empty. And if I go to the database and run this query again, you can see that our data, you can see that our table purchased have one data in it, that product ID 5 got purchased is paid is 1, that means it is true. And let's see our cart. And as you can see in our cart we have nothing, and here as well we have nothing. So with that we have successfully added the payment system in our project. Now there is still little work to do. First, we are going to also show the purchased product in our cart page, and also we are going to make a page for my products since we have not made it yet, and make this as well in our project, and with that our whole project will be completed. So let's go to our VS Code. So now go to the cart folder and insert that, uncomment this, and now go to the all purchase.tsx and inside that first import the Prisma from root app slash prismadb, then import link, and then import icon name bs check to all from react icons slash bs. Inside the props we are going to define user id, and it will be type of number, and pass this here. Now first we are going to get all the purchased product from our purchase table, and here pass the where condition, which will be user id. Now to remove this error, make this a sync function, and from this purchase product we are going to get all the products. So since in the purchase product we are only getting the product id, so using the purchase product, we are going to get the product ids and then we're going to fetch the product from our product table. So we can copy that from here, copy this and paste here. Now change this to purchased product and this to purchase product and this to purchase product and this to purchase products. And now we are going to, and after that, if the purchase products dot length is equals to 0, then we are going to display a empty, which we can copy that from here and paste. And if it's not empty, then we can render a product. So copy this as well from here, paste it, remove this and change this to purchase products, purchase, and remove this as well and save it and save this as well. Now let's go back to our browser, refresh the page, and here as you can see, now we have a purchased product here. In the all purchased.tsx, add one more p tag here. Inside that, give it a class name, text green 600, and write purchased, and then we are going to use our icon bs check to all. Size will be 20 and class name text green 600, and then close it. Now save, and with that we have completed our cart page. Now we have to make one more page for our my product here. So inside the app directory, make one more folder named my products dot, and inside that make a page .tsx. So first we are going to import the get server session from Next.js, then import the options from root/app/api/auth/next.js/options. Then I'm going to import link, import the Prisma from root/app/prismadb. Then icon. Along with this, I'm also going to import navbar. Inside the function, first get the session from get server session and pass the options. Make this a sync function. Then we're going to get all my product from Prisma, await Prisma dot find menu dot product dot find menu, where the user ID is session user dot ID, and if the all my product dot length is equals to 0, then return empty. For that, go to all card product and copy this and then paste here and save it. Now let's go back here, and if I click on this, you can see I'm getting a page written over here. That means all my product is not empty. So if it's not empty, then we are going to render this JSX. Inside that, first give this a class name of max width of 1280 pixels, mx auto, and inside that we are going to have a neighbor, and then one more div, and inside that we are going to map over all my products. So at all my product dot map, and inside that we are going to have a div. First give it a key value which will be product dot id, and then give a class name relative flex item center, justify between w8 by 12 px6 mx auto shadow lg and shadow purple 100 p5 rounded lg mt10. Inside this div, make one more div. Inside that we are going to have h1 tag with a class name of text to excel mb3, and then inside this we are going to have product dot title, and here write price, and this will be product dot price. Duplicate one more time. Now this will be dot category, and this will be category as well. Duplicate one more time. Then this will be style, and this will be style as well. Now make it a store and store this as well. Lastly, we are going to have a delete product component, where we are going to pass the product ID will be equals to product dot id and user id, which will be equals to product dot user id. Now close it, and let's make this component in our component folder. Delete product .tsx, so that tsrefce, then make it a client component, then import access and import go trash from get icons, and import user router from next navigation, and inside the props we are going to have product id, which will be a type of number, then user id, which will be a type of number as well. Now pass these two here, product id and user id, then write const router is equals to user router, and below that we are going to define a function to handle delete. Make it a async function. Inside that we are going to use a try and catch block. First wait access dot delete dot, then provide the API endpoint slash API slash product, and pass the data. So data will be product ID, and it will be equals to product ID, then user ID, it will be equals to user ID, and then we are going to catch the error. After that, refresh the page. So write router dot refresh, and then we are going to catch the error. Inside that, I just want to console the error. And inside this, remove this first, and on click function, pass the handle delete, give it a class name, cursor pointer, and then we are going to have our icon go trash, class name is equals to text, that is 600, size will be 20, and then close it. Now let's import it here and save this as well. Now let's go to the product. So we don't have any product folder here, so this should be add product. Now save and go to the add product folder and then out.ts, and here we are going to define the uh, delete function. So let export async function delete, and then request, which will be type of request, and then first we are going to get the body from JSON. So await request.json. From this JSON we are going to get two values. First will be product ID and the user ID. Then use the try and catch block, const delete product is equals to await prisma product delete many, and it should be delete only. Inside that we are going to pass where ID is product ID and user ID is user ID. Then we are going to return next response.json and deleted cart. Then we are going to catch the error and console the error deleting product, and then we are going to have our error here. Also we are going to return next response.error. Now let's save and go back to my product page, and below this div we are going to have a link and href, which will be pointing to dashboard slash product.id. Then close it, and inside the lib tag we are going to have a div. Inside that we are going to have an image. Let's define class name. Width will be 200 pixels, h will be 200 pixels, object top, and inside the src we are going to have product dot images dot script by comma, and then we are going to tag the first value of the string. Now below this we are going to have if the session user id is equals to product dot user id, then we are going to have a link, and inside the link first give this href pointing to the edit slash product dot id, and then give this a class name which will be absolute top 0 and right 0, Inside this link, we are going to have a span and a class name of absolute, top 0, right 0, p2, bg green, 600, this should be green, rounded full, text white, cursor pointer, and then inside this span we are going to have our icon, which is AI 210 edit with size value is equals to 20 is equals to 24, and then close it. Now let's save and go back to our browser, and here as you can see now we have our products here. Mm, I think the font value is too large. Yeah, now it's looking good. So with that we have also completed our my product page. Now if I click on this, I'll be directed to that page, and I can also delete this product from here. I think we're getting some kind of no, it's got deleted. So with that we have completed our e-commerce website, and I'll be providing this code on my GitHub, so you can go and check out, and also do subscribe to the channel and like this video.